Good evening, children, and welcome back to my class again. Today is Sunday. Again, I guess you all had a nice day today. Anyway, children, last session I did last session I did conjunction and so. And today I am going to continue with but. Okay, now but I am going to complete it today as it's very necessary. What is but? When are we using but? But is the conjunction when we are using into contrast statement. When there are two contrast statement, opposite statement. He is rich, but he is rich in wealth, but he is poor in health. Rich and poor. But there we are using conjunction but. When there are two opposite statement, we use but. But remember, children, there are some words which we can use instead of but to join the two sentences. It's not necessary that always we will be using but and so. It's not necessary. There are many words instead of but which we can use to join two sentences. Let's begin it. Number one is although. What is although? Although is a sentence, although is a word which means it gives a surprising or any unexpected thing. It gives an unexpected thing or it gives a surprising thing. Okay, so it joins where there is a surprising statement, there you can use although. So, although he was twice as us, he became the soul of the company. Twice as us, although he was twice as us, he became the soul of the company. Although means it's unexpected. Unexpectedly, he became the soul of the company. So, in that case, we can use although where we are seeing that the statement is unexpected. Where there is an unexpected statement, there we can use although and we can begin with the sentence although. Right? Now, the next one is however. However indicates a turn of event or a sudden change in any situation, sudden change in any thought, sudden change in any thought process. In that case, we can use however. However, suppose, for example, the calendar claimed the month was May. In the calendar, the month was May. However, the temperature felt more like November. The calendar claimed the month of May. However, the temperature felt more like November. The temperature was like the month of November, but the calendar was showing the month of May. The calendar claimed the month of May, but the temperature was showing like the month of November. Okay, so in that case, we can use however. However indicates the sudden change in thought or the turn of events or a turn of events. In that case, we can use however. Okay. Next, instead of but, again we can use nevertheless. Instead of but, we can use nevertheless. What is the meaning of nevertheless? Nevertheless is when you want to say in spite of, when you want to use in spite of any of the fact things, in spite of the fact things, then we use nevertheless. The word nevertheless is used. For example, the math test was very tough. The math test was very tough or very difficult. Nevertheless, followed by comma. Nevertheless, she earned a good grade. Nevertheless, she earned a good grade. In spite of, that means in spite of, means even though the math test was very difficult, in spite of the math test was very difficult, nevertheless she earned a good grade. That means in spite of difficult math test, still she earned a good grade in maths. Okay, so this was the word for nevertheless. Instead of but, we can use although, however, nevertheless. And then now coming down to the next point, that is on the other hand. On the other hand. On the other hand is to introduce a two contrasting statement, two contrasting point. On the other hand. On the other hand. That is, I want to eat. I want to eat or I want to go to eat. On the other hand, I have to study hard for my exams. She wants to eat. On the other hand, she needs to work hard for her exam also. So, on the other hand is used when we are joining two contrast statement. In that case, we can use on the other hand. Right? Now next, still. Instead of but, we can also use still. Still is to emphasize that something is continuing. Still, it's going on. Continuing means it's going on. It has not stopped. For example, they have been together for 40 years and they are still very much in love. They are together since 40 years, they are together, but still they are very much in love. Means their love is still continuing. Okay, it is still continuing. It is going on. It is in process. So when we say that something is continuing, that is called still. Still means it is going on. It is in process. Next, though. Though means though is used with a verb. Though is always used with a verb followed by yet. Though if you are using though means it will be you will have to also use yet followed by yet. So though he might not have recognized me, though he might not have recognized me, comma, yet, though is also there and yet is also there. So though and yet will be together. Always though and yet will be together. Though he might not have recognized me, yet it is rude of him. Yet it is rude of him. Now there is another sentence like though she disallowed me, yet I reached her office. Though she disallowed me, yet I reached her office. Means she did not allow me to go get into her office. Still, I reached her office. So when you are using though, there is a word like yet. You are also supposed to use yet along with though. And still when you are using still means when something is continuing, it is in process, it is in going on. So there in that case we will use still. So on the other hand when we are using, on the other hand we are using when we are combining, when we are joining two contrast statement. On the other hand, I want to eat. On the other hand, I need to work hard for my exams. So this is on the other hand. Then coming down to nevertheless. Nevertheless means in spite of. In spite of the math test being very difficult, yet I scored good marks. Okay, so nevertheless. Nevertheless means when you want to say in spite of. Okay, so the math test was very difficult. Nevertheless, she earned a good grade. Okay, so this is nevertheless. Nevertheless means in spite of. In spite of is when you want to say something in spite of the fact. In spite of the fact. Coming down to however. However, it indicates a turn of event or it indicates a sudden change in a thought. Sudden change in a thought or turn in event. That is, the calendar claimed the month of May, but the temperature was, the calendar claimed the month was May, however, the temperature felt more like November or more like December. So the calendar was showing month of the May, but the temperature was like November. Okay, so this is however. Then coming down, although. Although means something very surprising or unexpected. Something very surprising or unexpected. Although he was twice as us, he became the soul of the company. Means he was twice of us, but still he became the soul of the company. Okay, so these are the words although, however, nevertheless, on the other hand, then still and though. These are the words which we can use instead of the word but. And remember, children, but is the word when we are using to join to a contrast statement. But remember, in all the sentence we cannot use but. So in your exam, it might come that join the two sentences without using and, but, and so. So and is the sentence when we are joining two unequal statement. Okay, in that case we can use and. So means when we are coming down to the result, when we are expecting something, that is called we have accepted that. That is called so. When the result, when the statement shows about result, in that case we can use so. And but is used when there are two contradictory, means when there are two contrast statement. In that case we can use but. So there are different kinds of words which I have already told you what are the words that we can use instead of and, instead of so, and these are the words which we can use instead of but. Now, very thank you, children, all those who have already subscribed, and those who have not subscribed, please subscribe it again. Share my channel, like it also, and I wish you all might be learning something more in my section. And if you have any doubt, children, don't forget to write anything in the comment box. Please write it. Write a comment in the comment box so that I can give you a reply. Okay, love you all. Thank you very much.